Welcome to our short video about pensions and investments. Many of you regularly ask us questions about whether these products are a good idea, so we thought we'd ask our friends at Contractor Wealth what they think.
Are pensions a good idea?
For contractors and independent professionals, pensions are one of the few remaining tax breaks that still apply. They're very efficient tax wrappers for investments. Contributing to a pension will reduce the amount of corporation tax you have to pay. It effectively reduces the amount of income going into your business, so making you a 19% saving on the contributions you make. As the contributions can be structured directly from the business, it means there's no income or dividend tax liability to pay. You'll also pay no capital gains tax on growth within the pension wrapper, and under current legislation have the ability to take 25% of your pension provision as a pension commencement lump sum or tax-free cash, as it's otherwise known.
Aside from being tax efficient, do pensions offer any other benefits?
As many of you are aware, inflation is running at a particularly high level, currently around 2.9%. So in order for you not to lose real value on your money that you invest, you need to be earning an interest rate of at least 2.9%. Given the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee's choice to keep the base rate at an all-time low for a number of years, currently 0.25%, achieving 2.9% interest rates is harder than you might think. By investing money in a pension, you have a great selection of funds to choose from, based around risk allocation of assets and management approach. It does mean that your money is market linked, but you have the potential to earn a greater level of return on the funds you invest, protecting them from market value reduction or erosion.
What would happen to the money invested should something happen to me?
Under current legislation, pensions are a great way of leaving capital to your loved ones if something does happen to you. Pensions are currently held in trust, which means you're able to leave the entire value of the pension to a beneficiary, in some cases as a tax-free cash lump sum, or left invested in a pension wrapper for your beneficiary, should that be more beneficial for them.
When I get to retirement, what options do I have?
At retirement, you now have control over how and when you take your money from a pension. You could take a tax-free cash lump sum in one go, or structure it as and when you need it. You have the same option with the remaining income in the pension, which gives you the ability to structure the income as and when you need it, meaning greater level of flexibility than you could receive from other income streams at retirement. Leaving pensions behind for a while, we're going to look at what to do with large cash balances that might be building up in your companies. Many of you often ask this question. Although it's a nice position to be in, large cash balances can often cause problems when it comes to planning what to do with them. You always have the option to look at basic interest-bearing accounts or fixed-term bonds, which can be found on the high street, but of late the returns on these investments can be as low as 1.6%. Whilst they do provide fluid access to cash and some return, it's probably not the return that you were looking for. The problem for most savers at the moment is that if you aren't able to find a rate of interest high enough to match inflation, you end up with a resulting loss of real value given the latest inflation rates.
Are there any more options where I can have access to the funds?
You do have the option to make a limited amount of investments into direct shares from your company, as long as the income coming from those investments isn't generally more than 20% of the entire income generated by your business. If it is, then this can impact the status of your company and the tax implications when closing the company down. Venture capitalist trusts, or VCTs, are another investment option. VCTs are investment companies that are listed on the London Stock Exchange. Their purpose is to invest in small UK businesses that meet eligibility requirements. To aid in levels of this investment, the government offer high levels of tax benefits when investing. The tax benefits are also there as a countermeasure against the high level of risk that is inherent when investing into small UK businesses. VCTs primarily invest into small businesses or start-up companies that are either listed on the AIM market or are unquoted. Due to the status of these companies, there's potentially a high level of return to be had in a VCT, but the investments themselves have an equally high level of risk when compared to investing in larger established corporations.
What are the benefits of a VCT?
Income tax credit of up to 30% on your investments up to a value of £200,000 is available when buying new VCT shares. You need to have paid as much tax as the rebate that might be due and hold the shares for at least 5 years. You'll also receive tax-free dividends from the shares themselves when they're due to be paid. And finally, there's no capital gains tax to pay on the growth that you receive when selling your VCT shares. These three aspects make the VCT an attractive, tax-efficient investment for those of you with an appetite for risk. Returning to pensions, it can't be forgotten that these are a tax-efficient savings scheme. You can remove the funds from your business without paying any tax on them and even reduce your corporation tax liability. The funds will be invested until retirement and grow free from any capital gains tax liability, and will then allow you to remove the funds from the pension in a tax efficient manner.